Hey, I'm Trey Renson. This is my friend
Joseph Coatney.
And this is another well-received, precognition well-received episode of...
This specific episode.
It is.
Okay.
You know, in the future, in 2094, some of the previous episodes were not as popular. Mm-hmm. But this, pray tell, they say... in the future, that they said this was the turning point of when Rennie and Doc really they gained their stride in the way of YouTube podcasting, because YouTube became much like Demolition Man. Taco Bell took over as the main gourmet food joint. In the future, YouTube took over the U.S. government.
Oh.
And lo and behold, this is we are now government employees, and we're on the dole of the government. We make very good money in the future, I'm told. We are millionaires, and that's fine. I don't let it go to my head. See, I like to, in the future, my future me told me. He said,
Don't worry.
you're a good man still. Sure, you did you had some misfortune in the stock market, but you came across and you won in the end. And I'm pretty happy about that. And I died in I think I was 137, something like that. Yeah. I don't want to get into it. You shouldn't know the future. It creates a paradox. You watch Back to the Future. Anyways, new episode of Rennie and Doc. We got, I think, 6 views.
Wow.
on the last episode of the show. I'm fine with it because, like I said, I think last episode that it gives me a sense of freedom.
Yeah.
Where if you were to tell me, hey Trey, did you know that 50 million people watched you say farts are funny? I might not say that farts are funny if I knew I was under that scrutiny.
My belief is that people are saving them up to binge watch them.
Oh, like 50.
Some people just can't handle it, and they do watch it. Those 6 people.
That's true. Okay,
but I
like your optimism there. I really do. So today, now, barring some unforeseen incident, which I expire somehow, or like the world blows up, Israel goes, "Hey, we're going to use a nuke," or Iran goes, "Hey, we're going to use a nuke," and the world is destroyed. Today, not as we record it, but as we release, hopefully my new music video has come out.
Okay.
And I was telling you before the show, last night we were working on finishing touches on background vocals. We were finagling some of the drums, just trying to get a good mix. Yeah. And as previously explained, it's a tedious effort. I don't want to bore the audience of the 6 or 7 people that watch, but it is. It's. I've told you before. I'm very nervous, and I'm very embarrassed in a way, because when you don't. One day I hope you know the feeling when you release a thing that, especially when like this song is very it's kind of a personal song that I just feel embarrassed by. But much like the cold plunge, you go, I don't want to do this, but I feel like I need to do this, and you do it, and it's uncomfortable or even painful. Yeah, and you do it because that builds strength of will, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I'm just scrolling.
Scrolling. That's what we do.
That's what I do. I hold my phone like that. I don't remember what I was going to say.
Thank you, Joe. And back to you, Gene.
Oh, it's one of those motivational things that I usually just skim right by, but it said something about how when you die, or when you're dying, you will never look back and go, I'm glad I never tried that. And I was like, that's rough.
I don't know about that, because you go, I wish I'd never tried that thing that I hated. Is it
no? It made it made me think.
Took the chance, maybe.
Yeah. It made me think all these songs that I've written that I've never done anything with. I'll be laying in my deathbed going, right, never even tried.
I get the point, and it's well received. I think it's mostly true. But also, I think it falls into the same vein of one of the things that I have always very much hated was when they go, somebody asks you, would you do anything different? And they go, you know what? I wouldn't do anything different. I go,
Yeah.
what the hell's wrong with you? Do all the things different.
Yeah.
If you did something wrong and you knew it was wrong,
Yeah.
even though it came to a good point in your life, hey man, still wrong.
Yeah.
Do something different. So I hate that overall generality, but I do appreciate the point though. I think it's correct because you have to take chances.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take chances, then nothing ever happens, and you just sit there and stagnate and rot, and then your body becomes a zombie, and then you end up killing your friend, and he goes, "Why did you kill me?" And I go, "I don't know, I'm a zombie," and he goes, "Well, now I'm a zombie," and then you go and
Great.
kill the rest of the world.
You just reminded me. I watched a documentary over the weekend. I did not know this was possible, but it was about people that had fused to objects from being sitting in one place too long. One lady did to a toilet seat. One lady did
Yeah.
it to a couch.
Right.
The cells just merge.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's wild.
It's horrible.
It is.
Sounds horrible. What is this documentary? It's called Fusing, a documentary.
Fusion.
Fusion.
Yeah, but the lady that was on the couch, they had to break the wall
She was
down.
dead, I assume.
No.
No.
They broke the
She
wall
sat
down.
there long enough to fuse to the toilet?
Every
That's
one
a
of the
bad bout of
stories-
diarrhea.
Every one of the stories that were on there were, it was, oddly, it was all women. And,
oh, boy.
And they all had,
Sexist commentary here.
and they all had a man that lived with them, like a boyfriend or a husband, that would just bring them their food and stuff, and they just literally wouldn't move.
On the toilet.
Yeah. That lady was smarter than the couch lady because the couch lady fused.
Toilet ladies better than
The
couch
fireman
lady.
said that they kept having to run out of the house because it smelled so bad because she just sits there and uses the restroom
Did she flush? Oh, and the sofa.
on the sofa.
Oh.
Anyway,
Oh,
they had to break
there's-
the wall down, take the couch out, got out of the hospital, surgically remove the couch. She died
She died. From
died.
what?
from being fused to the couch.
You can't
She was
stop that?
huge.
Oh.
It's weird.
Of all medical science, we can't figure to. Well, okay. There's a lot to take in that
I
story.
think she died of an infection because,
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, you got foreign objects and intertwined with your
Well, that's
flesh.
true. And if you're a large person, sorry, you have more surface area
Yes.
to fuse.
Yeah.
And skin is an organ.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
The skin is a literal organ of your body.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the
It's the
technical-
largest one.
Yeah. So I could buy that, but boy, there's a lot to unpack in the psychology of that kind of person that won't stand up.
Or
Could
even
you
roll
imagine?
over.
You ever get I was recording last night. It's all about me. Recording last night, some of the vocals and stuff. I remember like shifting around in my seat. This was
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours, and I was like, I can't just stand. A person that can stand so still or sit so still
Yeah.
that they literally fuse to the object that
Well,
they're
I
sitting
knew
on. That's
People
amazing.
got bed sores, like if they're bedridden, but I didn't realize that.
Well, but those people can't move.
I know.
for the most part.
But I didn't realize that if they're not moved, that's what happens.
Yes.
It's fusion.
Yeah.
It's freaking weird.
It's almost like all the whole world's supposed to be one thing or something like that. It's very odd.
But how hard is it to do this?
Well, that's why I give a little bit of leniency to the people in the beds.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
can't if they can't move, it's definitely not your fault. If you're a woman that lives with a guy in an apartment and you go, "Well, I'm going to sit on the toilet and I'm just going to let you feed me as I
Yeah.
defecate into the it's like a cycle.
Yeah.
We're working the
The
cycle
dude,
here.
he was interviewed, and he said he was really weird. He said it wasn't that bad. I would go to the bathroom in the bathtub, but it was kind of rough when I had to poop. And he was just straight, just like, because then I just imagine this dude trying to get the turds down.
So if I could, he's gonna have to wait. He's crapping in the toilet, or no, he's crapping in the shower.
tub, yeah.
There's a word for that. I literally just I can't remember what it was called, but this has become a disgusting episode already.
Let's move off of this.
Well, hold on, I got to finish this because there is a term. I can't remember what the word is. Maybe the people can look it up. Any normal person would never do this.
Yeah.
Crap in the shower and then press it down into the...
No.
Now, as George Costanza would say, it's all pipes.
Yeah.
But there is a weird, like, social problem with that. And I actually imagined he might sit on her lap, but that would be a weird form of intimacy.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I'm sure you and your wife wouldn't like to do that.
No.
I'm just going on a limb. All right, let's get off of that.
All right.
I'll say one more thing. I was watching a Rogan episode, which we're going to watch a little bit of another one. But there was an episode where he was talking about, there was an episode of Hoarders, which a woman, I don't understand the psychology. I wish I could. And I love psychology. I love trying to figure out the human psyche. But she would keep and store her feces.
Oh.
And she would also eat it.
Oh.
And when they were cleaning up her house, one of the last things she said was like, let me have it one more time. Like an addict.
Yeah.
Like one more drink, one more smoke, one more bite of that feces.
Wow.
There's something with that. But anyways.
That's bizarre.
Okay, so off of that subject.
That's genuinely not accepted by society.
Yeah, well, some would say that. We'll see in the future. I mentioned this guy. I've never heard of this guy until 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay.
And I'm sure you haven't watched it.
Is that the one you sent me?
Yes, I sent
Okay,
you.
I haven't yet.
I sent this to Joe. I said, you need to watch this. Or what did I say? Something like that. You got to see this.
Yeah.
Because we're conspiratorial in a way.
Yeah.
Not overly.
No.
But we question things. And one of the things that I've always questioned, and I think I could truly say that I don't believe that the first moon landing was real. I do not believe that's true. Subsequent, I cannot state.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take a stand. The first thing I will say that the first one I think was fake, and I think it was for reasons of political wins and to beat the Soviets in the space race. I think it made perfect sense to fake it. Anyways, this guy was on talking about all that, but he mentioned this thing which harkens back to one of our previous episodes about aliens and angels. Mm-hmm. And I wanted you to hear this a little bit. And it kind of encapsulated what some of the things that I had. It's not that I don't believe this necessarily.
Yeah,
but I think it's a possibility. Yes. So let's see.
UFOs are real and aliens are real, but they're not from outer space. And that's according to the top 2 UFO researchers after decades-long research. So go to Sabrel.com and
So
pray.
where do they
It's
think
up
they're
there in
from
time.
if they're not from outer space?
They're interdimensional and potentially fallen angels disguising themselves because they're liars of something, like you said, can't be proven or disproven. I'm from this galaxy 300 light years away.
This is kind of what Tucker Carlson thinks. He thinks
I listen to
there's
that
a
too.
spiritual element to it, and he thinks they've always been here, and he thinks that this is what's kind of documented in the Bible as like good and evil. And
That's it, exactly.
angels.
I mean, that's what's going on. I mean, the top 2 UFO researchers said UFOs are real, number 1. Number 2, they're not from outer space. And number 3, they're demonic. And that's what I talk about. Where it talks about fallen angels interbreeding with humans, it's talked about in Genesis 6, and creating a race called Nephilim, who were men of renown, world leaders.
Could you interpret that as when you say interbreeding with humans? Now, imagine if what they are is a form of artificial intelligence. Or
Now, he
I should
goes
say,
off-
instead of artificial. Artificial is a word that it's got a lot.
So he goes off, which is one of the critiques I have with Rogan, is that I've said this multiple times to you, but I'll say it to the world. Rogan will go out of his way to have any explanation other than a possible God figure.
Yeah.
Now, he might, every once in a while, he'll say, oh, God is everything. I go, what does that mean? But when it comes to this kind of stuff, he actively diverts from any kind of biblical thing and he's a very open-minded guy. That's why I listen to him.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this, he goes, oh, but he always diverts back to this alien or possible like interaction or intersection between humans and AI that becomes a different being, which is what he's thinking is
Yeah.
alien.
Transhumanism.
But I don't know why he does that, because you also have a possible, like he just said, a possible explanation. Maybe absolute bullcrap. Who
Yeah.
knows? But he won't even
Yeah.
go along with like a yes and like an improv thing. He always diverts into some other explanation other than God. Really bothers me.
That is weird because he's so open to everything at Bigfoot,
Right.
Loch Ness Monster, whatever.
So what do you think that is?
I don't know.
Is it like I've said multiple times in the past, and I think I said it on another show, that very adamant atheists, I feel like they're pushing against a thing that they feel in their guts.
I think that's possible because it's not like I don't actively push against other people's beliefs,
Yeah.
but it does seem like atheists fight real hard.
Right.
Like, why you care so much?
It's like they have an innate feeling of what they think is true, but they go, no, it can't be.
Yeah.
I'll do anything else.
I really
I'll
do think
push
that's what it
against
is because it's. I've unfollowed people because, if they're atheists, that's whatever. That's you.
Yeah.
But they just actively post about it, and I'm
Right.
like, okay, get out of here.
Yeah, that bothers me. I don't mind questioning things because I think that's a healthy way of being.
Yeah.
And even Christians, I don't like Christians that don't question, like, what
Yeah.
does this mean? What is it? It says this.
Yeah.
What does that mean? And people go, like, a certain kind of Christian will go, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It kind of matters. I would like to know, like, I'm a Christian myself, so I would like to delve further into the belief and go, why does this? And what does this really mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably what it says, but is this what it means? Is this what it actually means?
Well, I told you that I have struggled a long time. Like, what is God?
Yeah.
And a lot of Christian people say, what does it matter? He's God. And I'm like, it bothers me. I want to know.
Well,
And
I think that's a healthy thing to want to know. Isn't that seeking knowledge?
Yeah.
And if you're seeking it, it's one thing if you're diving into, well, I don't even know if that's bad. Diving into other forms of, holes that, what they call it, wormholes or rabbit holes.
Rabbit holes.
But if you're trying to find truth in God,
Yeah.
is that
I don't
a
think
bad
so.
thing?
I don't
Because I
think
feel
so.
like that's what he wants you to do.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
And it may be, I don't know.
Yeah, it may be. I don't know. It's a quote from Joe. We're going to put it in his book of quotes. It may be ... I don't know. Now we're going to get into some.
That's my second quote book, by the way.
excuse me. That's true. It's what was it called? 102 quotes from Joseph Coatney
To use with your friends.
to use with your friends. That's the subtext. All right, these are videos that you sent. We haven't. I've missed it for the last two shows, and I wanted to see what
I
they
don't
are.
remember.
Well, nobody knows. Let me turn the volume up. That's not a real hand?
No.
Oh, boy. How does that work? Yeah, boy. I need you
Look
to
how-
close your boots in your motorcycle, Joe.
Look how advanced that is.
What are they using for muscle fibers? It's just not animatronic, but like...
It looks like probably cables.
Oh, boy.
We're getting there.
Oh boy. I don't know if my mind. I know that your mind and maybe my mind goes to the negative.
Yeah.
Where I referenced the Terminator line, but that could help a lot of people.
It could.
So who's to say? You could say that the internet itself is a negative thing, but at the same time, it's giving everybody all the information you could ever need, and it makes people smarter. So I think it's just a pros cons.
Everything kind of
Dichotomy.
sucks. Let's just be real. Cars, yeah, it's
Well,
great.
I hate to be
Translate-
negative, but I agree.
People get killed.
Kill-oft?
Yeah.
Kill-oft. Well, it's a new
Yeah.
term that we...
Cloft.
Cloft. That's true. Cars are a great way of conveyance, and they could also make you not alive anymore.
You remember that story, like when the first 2 automobiles were in, I forget what town it was, like Chicago or something. They only had 2 in the whole town, and they managed to wreck into each other. Just like back when they first were invented.
I wonder if that's the first episode of Chicken. I bet you'll turn first. All right, what do we got here?
I don't remember.
Possibility that my brother's gun might be in this car, just so you know. And if it is, then it's not. I just want to let you know.
There's a possibility this thing might happen, but if it is, it's exactly right where I said it was. All right. Don't.
Unfortunately, she stopped in traffic. She may have wrecked.
Oh, I've seen this. She wrecked, right?
She wrecked.
I can't remember.
1016.
Oh, boy. I'm sorry to say that she's... Oh,
Stay still.
she's
I don't
alive!
know how she lived.
Lay your head on that. Lay your head on that. Don't move.
I thought she run over me. Why did she?
Wow.
Can I call my girlfriend to get
No. Can she call your girlfriend to what?
the car?
You gotta get... Well, you gotta take the car home, you know what I mean?
You don't even have back tires on it. The back tires are stuck under that truck right there.
Why?
Because you were in a really bad accident.
I wasn't driving.
Well, I mean, Joe, everybody's had the thing where you park your car in the wrong place and you think, oh, I gotta get the car home. Well, she's thinking the same thing.
Gotta get
you
this
know.
home. I need it tomorrow to get to work.
That's true. You can't be without your car. You got to take an Uber. That's just a whole charade that you have to go through. Boy, I remember seeing that video, and I must have not watched it all the way through because I
was
thought that she
convinced.
died.
Yeah, I was convinced.
Because I thought
did.
that she would mush herself into that. So how do you... Fishtail, maybe? Caught the
Maybe.
back, and then the front somehow projected forward? That's a...
I don't know.
That's the luck of...
This was I showed you this one. I wanted you to see because it kind of shows you if you ever get a pickup, you get in some lumber or something. This is how you properly tie it down.
Okay. Well, I've always struggling, with the strap ties.
Yeah.
Like I never know how to put the thing in the thing, and then you.
Well, the real question is
Ratchet
not necessarily how you tie it; it's where you tie it.
Oh, okay.
That's what's important.
All right.
I cannot believe that this is real.
Well, obviously you put it on the tire
Yeah.
because there's holes there, right? I mean, logically.
What did he think was going to happen?
All right. So I don't think people think is what you're
The
what
ending
you're
is
really
great,
getting
though.
at. He forgot his buddy, Billy.
My dad is going to kill me.
Okay,
would
that makes
too.
more sense. His stupid 16-year-old kid. Wow. Well, like I said, a guy. This is not a sexual thing. I don't want anybody to see that. But a guy sees a hole that you put the strap through.
Yeah.
And he
That's
goes,
a good
"Well,
tying spot."
Yeah, that's what you put the thing in." And oh boy, I'm not going to pretend that I've never made a mistake,
Yeah.
but I've not made many mistakes like that.
Not like that. You go, this thing's going to spin
Yeah.
when I drive.
I feel like the good Lord gave me a little bit of extra logic that maybe he didn't give this man or kid or whatever. He's like my dad. He's probably a 40-year-old guy. My dad's going to kill me. All right.
This one we don't need to watch. It's pretty long.
Okay.
I just
Well, that's
don't
what she
like it.
said, so. All right. Let me... Oh, that was the last one. Let me go to my videos here. We got about 7 minutes left. I can't remember... Good. We're back. We're back. Welcome back to the show. I set this all up. I'm a pretty good prep guy. I like to plan things. I like to make sure everything's correct. You're coming over at a certain time, and I think to myself, I don't want to make Joe wait. I want to make sure everything's ready to go, rearing to go, and then I have to deal with technology is the problem.
yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Well, he made it. I don't know why he jumped into
it
it.
did.
Amazing.
He doesn't even know what country he's in anymore.
Well, he's going to have a bad day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today it might not be so bad, but the memory will come back through. I send videos that either are very ethereal and heady, or I also send things that just are visceral.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh, look at this guy.
Yeah.
He jumps into a face of a.
We
of a
both enjoy
giant,
those videos.
Yes.
So.
All right, let's see.
Electric vehicle in the world can't knock it down, can't
This is
tip it
interesting.
over. With only 2 wheels, yet
like Tron.
maintains balance.
It is.
Width of the whole vehicle is 1 meter, weighing around 360 kilograms, can accommodate 2 passengers at once, no matter from which angle you pull or bump it. It can stand firm and maintain
Pretty-
balance. This is
pretty
because the
good.
chassis
Yeah.
of the car is equipped with 2
Pretty-
high-speed rotating
pretty good.
gyroscopes, and it also features automatic frequency
awesome.
modulation found in sports cars.
I think that's,
allowing it to remain stable at all
pretty
times.
safe, really.
Despite
Yeah.
its unassuming appearance,
The problem with that is that when you drive it, you leave a giant tail. If you run into the tail, you blow up.
That's true.
So that's the only problem with that. A Tron reference. All right. But no, I think that I don't see. I see advancements like that as a net good.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you make things like that? It's better than you drive a motorcycle sometimes.
Occasionally.
Well, that's more safe than that.
Oh yeah.
Just you can't get
Well,
knocked
I'm
over.
watching a guy on YouTube. He's building like
Right now?
the Bat Pod kind of inspired by.
yeah.
And,
From Spider what?
inspired by.
Oh, I thought you said from Spider by.
But he's really low to the ground and he sits, so it's like a little 2-wheeled go-kart almost. And he couldn't drive it. And then the last couple episodes, he's been adding a gyroscope to the back wheel.
Yeah.
And it's helping a
You know,
lot.
a thing that makes me. This is somewhat related. I think there was a story that I can't remember specifically, but I remember my dad telling me a story about a kid when he was young.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been probably in the 70s. They were riding a go-kart, and this is a horrible thing. It didn't have, you know how go-karts have that bar system? Well, they didn't have that, and I think the kid ran under a car and was,
Unheaded.
yes. And that's the kind of thing, when you described that, I thought, oh boy, I kind of feel like I wish I had some sort of
Yeah.
system where that didn't happen, because that could easily happen.
Oh, yeah.
Especially those high trucks. We talked about those
Yeah.
lifted trucks before. Oh, that would be a rough thing. But that's why I drive a very regular sedan. So I'm a man of extreme safety. All right, let's do one more, I guess. What the hell is this? Oh, boy.
Oh, no. No!
It's probably there for a reason, some would say. We can't end on that. But that just goes to show that there's this thing where they talk about, I think it's a conservative Democrat thing, but take the political thing out of it. A certain person goes into a field and sees a fence, and this kind of person goes, "This is stupid. This doesn't need a fence here. Tear it down." And then this kind of person goes, we need to look in to see why this fence is here. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of person that he should have been. Like, why is this bar here? And instead of screwing around with it. All right, let's do one more. I think this will be enough. Make sure everything's going. Last time we lost audio, and we figured it out, but now I'm nervous about everything failing. But, you know.
Too little, too late.
Back to the rat. You remember the mouse last time? Climbing up in the toilet?
No. No.
This is a snake, baby! We call this a poop snake because he loves your poop. He wants to eat it. That's why he's there. That's
terrifying.
huge.
It is. I was
Now, you-
smart to leave the toilet on there so his head's in there.
I guess so. Now you're this kind of person where you'd save it and go, we don't want it to come to any harm.
Yeah.
I would go ahead and chaka is what I would say. Anyways, I think that's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
It kind of bookends the last episode. The rat one.
Oh, yeah.
You remember?
I do.
He climbed up the thing. I may have even mentioned a snake last time. Anyways, I don't remember what we talked about. I never do. I will find out when
We're kind of all over.
when I edit it. But thank you for watching the latest episode of Rennie and Doc. It's a podcast. If you see the thing here, this is called Rennie and Doc. It is what we are and what we do. We are what we do, and that's what they say. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Share it. You probably won't, but if you do, appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of Rennie and Doc.